hopefully Lexington, Kentucky into the south. Some storms initially are going to reach you soon, but I really hope that that tornado threat stays down because we're not seeing that low level shear I talked about earlier, which is great news. So intense day so far. Thank you guys for being here with us so far too. Much appreciated, y'all. Happy to help in any way. Just in case you're looking out for where I am, of course, there is the meteorologist Andy Hill channel. You can follow that too, and I do cover a lot of severe weather days like this that don't quite eclipse the tornado threshold, the tornado risk threshold that we saw today. That has prompted this live stream and very much needed coverage. And much of the days that I've covered that have those lower risk levels end up being very significant in their own ways. So that's a valuable resource, and I'm really happy to see a lot of you over there when I'm doing my content there. And Carly has been on a reason to go over there. That's a good enough one. So it's been wonderful working with Carly over there. But yeah, still just waiting for these destructive severe thunderstorms to give us some sort of damage reports. Again, it's moving right through Mark Tree right now. Large tree down, reported marked tree in Arkansas there. And the warning was extended to include parts of the northern Memphis, Tennessee metro. So that's the next 25 minutes for y'all, 25-30 minutes as these storms approach from the west. I think the worst of the wind damage will probably go in the Millington area, right where the radar set is, and hopefully lose intensity by the time it gets there. It does look like it's not as intensity. These types of storms tend to be progressive. It's going to carry that damage threat quite simply. It's going to continue to be a problem. So I'm sure we're probably with any news on that as we get much closer to Memphis. I think that the worst of the winds will go to the north of Memphis right now. Once again, that threat will definitely evolve as we get closer here. So be weather aware in Memphis, Tennessee over the next 5 minutes or so as this gets closer and closer to you. And then you're going to be weather aware by default because these storms are going to be loud. What do you think, Brian?
There you go. I agree. Thank you, Andy, for everything. I agree. I think that the vast majority of these damaging winds are going to be moving to the north of Memphis. We do have to watch how much this is kind of like kind of bowling down, though, if you know what I mean. Like, this is probably going to try to take a more southward turn here, but at the same time, I agree with the Terrell, Millington area, Wilson, right in there. That's where some of the stronger winds are going to be, and that's what the National Weather Service is saying as well, with their considerable severe thunderstorm warning covering this area between Covington and Bartlett here. It sounds to me like we've got an update from Riley out there in the field. So let's see. What do you got, Riley?
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Alright, so we are somewhere west of Lexington now. We don't really know where we are, but we're here. It looks kind of far, but we actually have anvil crawlers. So it's really fun inside now. I think we're going to try and hang out here. And if we can see something somewhere around here, it's a really interesting time. We're trying to stay away from the storm. I don't know how to describe whatever we're doing, but if you look over here, we actually have an outlet old storm. So this is probably not anywhere we're going to see another storm soon until that other line comes through. But for now, if we stay at the power, those are always ready.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Or I'm sorry. Thank you, Riley, for that. And guys, they're going to be set up there in Lexington for, I guess, probably the rest of the evening. I don't know if they're going to be in that exact spot or not, but we'll be checking in with them periodically. Hopefully, they can keep us updated on whatever's going on out there. Remember, the purpose of the Y'all-mobile and having these guys out there at all is associated with our nonprofit organization, the Y'all Squad. We finally got into a place where we can actually not only have storm chasers out, covering these events, but people associated with our nonprofit that are kind of like in a centralized area that are able to start talking to people and get into these towns that need help immediately afterwards. It gives us kind of like an HQ, a meeting point for everybody involved, which is very nice. And of course, leading up to that, we'll have our reporters, Riley and Chandra, out there giving us an update on what's going on the ground. If we can get them away from the rain long enough, I'm sure Riley will send the drone up in the air as well. So that's what's going on out there. We have another update from Storm. Let's look at what this is. SBC Mesoscale discussion number 1266. The risk for damaging gusts and very large hail continues. A new watch may also be needed. This is going to include down towards Pine Bluff, Cleveland, towards Greenville, Mississippi, El Dorado, Arkansas, Bastrop, Vicksburg, in between Mississippi and Louisiana. So, like I said, guys, we're talking about Canada getting severe weather, northern Michigan, Ohio, and all the way down to Louisiana, almost the entire length of the country there, experiencing severe weather tonight. As this is one of the bigger severe weather outbreaks I think that we've seen in quite some time, especially on a population scale. Lots of people impacted tonight. Strongest part of the storm has moved past you there in Detroit, Flint, you as well. Now it's on the way to you there in Sarnia, Croswell, and Sandusky. Looks like these storms are also going to be making it all the way up into the top of the oven mitt here, up near Petoskey, Rogers City, and Alpena in Michigan as well. And these might make it all the way up there across the lake into Sault Ste. Marie. Man, this is quite an extensive severe weather system here. Things have slowed down a little bit, though, as far as the eastward progression of these storms in Ohio. And they're really kind of only scraping over the northern parts of the state. It's going to take a while for these to make it to Cleveland, if they even make it to Cleveland. It does look like some more new storms have formed behind this, though. It looks like maybe a round 2 could be coming into places like Monroe, Bedford Township, and Toledo, so we'll be watching that pretty closely. If I come down to southern Ohio, down here to Cincinnati, so these storms are popping up. Okay, got a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued not too long ago for Riley, Oxford, and Hamilton in Ohio. This is going to have some large hail, 1 inch in diameter hail, possibly even larger. And then another storm just to the south of that is going to try to make it into the northern areas of Cincinnati near New Burlington, Reading, and Blue Ash within the next little bit, possibly carrying some small hail with it as well. If I go down to the Louisville radar and we take a look at the Louisville-Lexington area, 2 storms, one to the north of Lexington, one to the south and west of Lexington. I think that these are going to try to miss Lexington overall, and Lexington is going to end up dealing with this. Okay, so get ready in Lexington for probably a late night of severe weather. It might be closer to, it could be closer to 10 p.m. Or later before we see anything significant out here. And what is significant exactly? We've been hearing so much today about these storms, round 2, what's happening. This is what the HRRR was showing, convecting after these initial storms went by. It's happening, but the air is really not as unstable as what I think that model originally thought. There's a lot of rain-cooled air floating around out here. I really just don't see a path for these storms to grow exponentially. But they're growing right now, so we're going to watch them very closely. We're going to see what happens, and we'll see if things start picking back up with this secondary thunderstorms. But for now, we're just kind of watching everything really try to fizzle out as far as these first 2 storms go. If I'm not mistaken, the last couple of scans here on this storm near Owenton, Kentucky do look a little bit more impressive, I guess, with the The amount of rotation that we're seeing on that storm, still not anything crazy, but it's a sign that the storm is healthy. Also, this would be the exact storm that we're seeing the anvil crawlers from that Riley was talking about way down in Lexington. So lots of electric activity in this storm that could be signs that it's trying to grow and expand a little bit. This one down here, closer to Bardstown and Bloomfield, is also showing signs of strengthening. You can see those brighter cores showing up, but not a lot of rotation indicated from that whatsoever. Let's go back down to the Memphis radar, and you can see that our very strong that we've been tracking with all those very damaging winds is still on track to cause some problems here along the Mississippi River between Arkansas and Tennessee, mostly around Millington. The northern side of Memphis is going to cut it close with some of the stronger winds, but I think the strongest winds are certainly going to stay north of the city, up there towards Millington. Okay, so get ready for up to 70-mile-per-hour winds if you're in the path of that one. Now, down to the south and east of Little Rock, we've also got some very strong winds. So get ready to move through Stuttgart, Altheimer, Humphrey, and Pine Bluff. But the strongest winds probably going to be focusing on the Stuttgart area. Once again, potentially up to 80 miles per hour, as this is one of the strongest storms that we've seen today. Back over to Atlanta. We've got some pretty big storms here near LaGrange,